Hi everyone. So today we're going to practice finding the relative extrema, also known as the mins and maxes, and then also your intervals of increasing and decreasing. We're going to do all of this graphically, so you're going to need your calculator. Okay, so the relative extrema, let me just show you really quick what that looks like. Your relative extrema, if this is your function over here, then this point right here, that's a minima, and this point up here is a maxima. Okay, so I'm going to show you how in your calculator you're going to find those 2 points. So your first step, you are going to graph the function. Here we go. Graph the function. What the heck? Here we go. And then you may have to fix the window. Okay, if you can't see all of the mins and the maxes, then you might have to adjust your window. Step 2, to find the mins and maxes, you're going to press second and then calc. If you're looking for the minima, you're going to press number 3. That's for minima. Number 4, if you're looking for the maxima. Third step, whether you're doing min or max, is going to say the same thing. It's going to say left bound with a question mark. So you are going to move your cursor to the left of the point of the min or the max. Then press enter. Then it's going to say right bound with a question mark. So then you're going to move your cursor to the right of the point, and you're going to press enter again. Then it's going to say guess with a question mark. When it says guess, you don't move left or right at all, just press enter. Okay? So if we move down, let's ignore increasing and decreasing for now. Let's just practice finding the mins and maxes of this function of your example below. Okay? So f of x equals x to the third plus x squared minus 4x plus 1. So if you type that into y equals in your calculator, and then you can take like a quick peek of what your graph is going to look like. This is a polynomial function, right? It's x to the third, x squared, x, and then a constant. All of your polynomial functions are going to be nice and curved graphs, and your domain is going to include all real numbers. So if you go to your table, press second and then graph, and your table will come up. You get some points that you can graph on your paper. Okay, so I'm going to do that now. I'm going to just write down those points on the side over here. So we have, let's see, x and f of x. So we have the point -3, -5, -2, +5, -1, 5, 0, 1, 1, -1, and 2, 5. Okay, so I'm just going to plot those points. -3, that's right there. -2, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is up here. -1, 5 is over here. Remember, they're nice curves though, so you're going to have some difference in the middle here. 0 is at 1, 1, -1, and 2, +5. Okay, so this is going to look something like this. You're going to, again, make it nice and curved as possible. Okay, make sure you put arrows on the ends of your graph, again, because your domain for these functions are going to be all real numbers. So if we look at this here, this point, I'm going to zoom in on this for you. This point right here, that's a max. This point down here, that's a min. Okay, so in your calculator, we are going to actually find the coordinates for the relative min and relative max. So to do so, you already did step 1, you graphed the function, you fixed the window, there was no issue. Now you're going to press second, calc. Let's find the minimum first, so number 3. So your minimum, it went straight to my minimum. I need to be somewhere on the left side of it. So I'm going to move my cursor by pressing the left arrow key. That way it goes to the left. Then I press enter. But now I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to go on the right side. So I'm going to move my cursor to the right side. Press enter. Guess. Don't move it at all. Just press enter. And it gives me my minimum. The question wants us rounding to the nearest hundredth, so 2 decimals. So on your paper, you are going to write, not in yellow, we have a max. What was that coordinate? Oh, I'm sorry, we just did the min. Sorry. We have a min, and that coordinate was 0.87, comma, negative 1.06. This is a negative. Okay? Now we're going to do the same thing, but on the other point to find the maximum. So in your calculator, you will press second, calc again. Now we're looking for the max, so we press 4. So my cursor went to the minimum, so I'm going to move it all the way over to the max. And I need to be on the left side of the point. So right now I'm pretty much on the point. I'm going to move it over even more to the left. Press enter. Then it's going to say right bound, so I move my cursor to the right. Right side of the point. Press enter. Guess. Enter. And it tells me that my maximum is negative 1.535181, comma 5.87, blah, 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 right? Again, we're rounding to the nearest hundredth. So on your paper, you are going to write max. And that coordinate, again, if we round correctly, is negative 1.54, comma 5.88. Okay, now you could end up having a graph with more than one max or more than one min. You could have a graph with no min and only a max. It all depends on the function itself. In this case, we have 2 relative extrema. One is a minimum and one is a maximum. Okay, so now let's go back up and we're going to talk about how to find the increasing and decreasing intervals. So you already did part of your steps here, because in order to do the increasing and decreasing intervals, you have to find the mins and maxes. So your first step is going to be to graph the function again. Not again, but that is also your first step for this. Fix the window if necessary. Graph function. There we go. Graph the function, fix the window if necessary. Second step, sorry guys, my Chromebook is going very slow right now. Second step, you are going to find all the maxes and the mins. Third step, you're going to, so this is where the new stuff starts. So to find the intervals of increasing and decreasing, what you're going to do first is draw a number line. You're going to draw a number line. That's going to help you kind of organize your thoughts. fine. Your fourth step, you are going to plot the x values of the mins and maxes on the number line. Only the x values of the mins and maxes. Step 5. So this is where you're actually deciding where the function is increasing and where it's decreasing. You are going to draw a plus sign where the function goes up or increases. You're going to draw that plus sign on the number line. I'll show you in a second. Then you're also going to draw a minus sign where the function goes down, which is where it decreases. And then lastly, because you have this beautiful number line, this last step is going to be even easier for you. You are going to write your answers using interval notation. Right, using interval notation, and then just make a note that you are only using parentheses only. Okay, I'll explain why in class. All right, so let's go back down and we'll look at this example again, and now we're going to find the intervals of increasing and decreasing. Okay. All right, so your first step, graph the function. We did that. Second step, find all of the relative extrema, the mins and maxes. We did that. Now, third step, draw a number line. For your number line, again, the domain of these functions is all real numbers. So the left side, I want you to put negative infinity, and the right side is going to be positive infinity. All right. Step 4, plot the x values of your mins and maxes. You only have 2 total. Remember, it's a number line, so it has to go number order. So negative 1.54 is less than 0.87. So that's going to go on the left side. We have negative 1.54 and 0.87. Oh, geez, that's an 8. Oh, my goodness. There we go. That's definitely an 8. Okay, so now we need to see where the function's going up and where it's going down. So negative infinity is that leftmost arrow. It's pointed down right now. Just because it's pointed down does not mean that it's decreasing. Remember, we are going, whenever we read graphs, we go from left to right, just like how we read books. So if we start at that arrow and then we follow the function along, we are actually going up to get to the max. So because we are going up, you're going to put a plus sign here. That's part of your increasing interval is right in there. Then if you start at your max and you go to the min, you are going down. So in between here, you are decreasing. And then from your min to the other arrow, you are going up again. Your mins and maxes, they're also known as your turning points because that's where you're switching between increasing and decreasing. You should be going back and forth between the two. You should not have increasing, and then decreasing. It should be going back and forth, okay? So for your interval notation now, for your interval notation, you pretty much just take it right off of the number line, which is nice. That's the whole point to the number line. It's going to organize your thoughts a little bit better. So on your number line, you see that you have that plus sign is the first thing that you see. So we are going to write increasing. We're going to start off with increasing. And you start off increasing all the way at negative infinity. You start at negative infinity and then you stop at the maximum, which is negative 1.54. Then at your max, negative 1.54, you start to decrease. And you keep decreasing until you hit the minimum, until you hit the next turning point, when x equals 0.87. Then at 0.87, you start to increase again. And you keep increasing until positive infinity. Okay? Just like how with the domain and range, when we had more than one interval, we put a u in the middle. You're going to do the same thing here. Okay? And that is your interval for increasing and decreasing. Notice it's going from negative infinity. The smallest number that you have is negative infinity, and the largest is positive. Again, because the domain of these functions is going to be all real numbers. Okay, we're going to practice finding mins and maxes and the increasing, decreasing intervals the next time I see you guys in class. Okay, have a great night.